Hi everyone, welcome to today's weekly update. This is your host, Dr. Peter. I needed to understand what is happening in the market because I honestly want you to make profit. But I will try my best for you to see the dynamics that is playing out and the strength that we see from the dollar. Now, when you see the dollar trying to push up, this is DXY on the daily time frame. When you see the dollar pushing up, you may think that we have changed this trend. I do not think that the trend to the downside is completed. But however, in the coming days or week, I think we'll still see dollar push more to the upside. We are in this wave C to the downside at least, and which I believe it is not completed. But in order for us to make the most of this market and gain, we need to understand the structure that is playing out. I want you to pay close attention to what I'm about saying for you to gain. And so you will know how to plan your trade. With C that we are doing to the downside, we expect it to run a motive course, which means it is not an ABC wave. It is a 5 motive waves that we expect. And I've told us in one of my videos, I can't remember which one precisely, that at the end of a wave 1, if you draw your trend line from here, you connect to this one, and a break signal that that trend is over. Now, from here, from this low, we see a wave 2. If you draw a trend line from this, let me try and zoom in for you to see clearly. The use of a trend line is what would help us identify where a wave is completed and what exactly you'll be expecting. We are taught that this is a wave 1, a wave 2, and that this is inside of this one is a wave 3, and perhaps we have finished wave 3 here, and this is a wave 4. We thought that this is a wave 3, 4 of 3, and 5 of 3, and that this is a wave 4. In this category, that this is a wave 2. We thought this is a wave 4, and that this is a wave 5. But the way and manner this wave, this move had gone, clearly show that something else is happening, which I want you to pay attention so that you understand the dynamics and the structure that is playing out. So connecting this to this and a break of that trend line tells you wave 1 is over. Connecting this red to this green, which is a wave 2, a break below it tells you it is over. Just like this. If I have to show you what I meant, connecting this to this, you can see a clear break that wave 1 is over. Connecting this to this green, this and this, a break tells you that wave is over. So we know that from here, wave 1 is over in the primary, wave 2 in the primary is over. So wave 3 being the longest one is what we are doing. Not until we break the trend, wave 3 is never over. So that is what we know. So let me bring this thing out. So we are going to connect from this wave 2, which is the beginning of wave 3, and to the biggest correction here, and see if we are going to break the trend or not. Watch. This holds the key to whatever is going to play out. So we are connecting to this and we're going to see. Just put your eye on the yellow. Now, fixing our eyes on this yellow, which is the connector between ear and ear. And these waves begin to pull down. And with this move here, and with this fourth wave not even breaking it, clearly shows that this is still part of wave 3. And a break here now clearly shows that we have finished wave 3. So in other words, it now means that our wave 1 is here, the big wave 1, wave 2, and that this is just a wave 3 of 4, and this is, sorry, wave 3 of 3, wave 4 of 3, and we've just finished a wave 5 of 3. So for me, we are seeing a big 4. And so if we are seeing a big 4, that big 4 should not break this. And we might be seeing a bigger correction, except if dollar is overtly weak. Now, with that said, this is going to go for now. If I change this to yellow or these shades here to mark just wave 3, please pay attention. It now means that this is nothing but the end which is still part of 3, the third wave of 3, and this is the fourth wave of 3. So that changes it. So wave 3 now at same completion here. So you can note the color change now. Wave 1, wave 2. Seeing a completion, I can change that. So wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and we need the color change again to mark wave 4. And so in marking this wave 4, this now becomes a primary 4 where I can put red because I wouldn't expect the wave going up to break this. All this one can go. If that is what we are doing, all these ones, they have no meaning. Again, they can actually be broken if we are doing a big 4. So let me just change this. So that I won't confuse you. Now, pay attention. Now we are seeing this break. This is a good break now. It means that this is a wave. This is not part of wave 3 anymore. Wave 3 is completed here. So we are going to see a wave 4. If you think that this is a wave 4 of this particular move, you know, it means that you see this as a primary 1 here, a primary 2 here, and probably this one had finished a wave 1 to the downside, and this is a 2, which is a bigger 2, and this is a primary 2. Then if that is the case, if this is a wave 4, it shouldn't break a 50. We are interrogating ourselves now. From even here, down here, to take it as a wave 2 of this, wave 4 of this move, to have a 5 to the downside, this had gone past 50. Is almost at 6-1. Is even at 6-1 of this move to the downside. So it cannot be. Even if you take this as a primary 2, that you are doing a 4th, this wave to the upside is bigger than that. If you look at it, we had even passed a 50, slightly a 50. So this move is completely different. It's different from this. So this had finished its course as a wave 5 of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, it has finished as a wave 5 of 3, and this to me can only be a wave 4 of the bigger picture. So which means if you pick it from here and you write it down, we are looking at possibility of this wave being completed around here. That's one possibility. So ultimately, we don't expect it to break this area. That is the area. So which means this one can go for it. It might take that out. So what we can see here is that the correction might go all the way to the beginning of the here without taking this top here. This resistance will stand, and that we know the area of the correction of the fourth wave. So I want you to pay attention. So this is 14.6 had been broken. We are yet to hit 23.6 or 38.2. Now, seeing this, the way it has moved past this, very close to this, I still don't think that the wave will finish here at 23, except if something else happens. I don't think it's going to finish here. I think it will go all the way to this point. But do you think it's going to go all the way to that point here, just like that? I don't think so. For me, this move, you know, most likely is signaling the end of an A wave of this fall. The fourth wave is signaling the end, is almost at the end of this A wave. We need to see a B wave to the downside, maybe at 50 here. So if you are trading, if you are able to see a break here, maybe you close your trade and to look for long to this area to grab liquidity before we now do the fifth wave to the downside. So that is what we'll be looking at now. So for me, the reaction here that we saw, I think on Thursday, might just mark the first wave to the downside. This might be an A wave of the B, and probably will go up one more, probably to break this and see reaction around this area for a B wave of B, and to thrust down one more time to see a C wave of B before we go up one more time. So that's what I'm looking at. That is what I think is cooking on the daily here. So now, if you understand what I said, for me, I think this is 1, 2. The third wave is completed here. We are riding the fourth wave. And I don't see, we are not doing a bigger ABC to correct the whole, but this wave to the downside is not completed. But if you think it's going to go down and break, from what I can see here, I don't think that is what is it's apparent. All that you have gained selling from here, except if you are holding your stop loss above this area, that is when you can still be in a sell to go all the way down. But then you'll be losing and missing out here. So look for a close, and once you are able to get to the up here around this area, if the price will give us a push to the upside, then we'll look for a buy, sorry, a sell again of the DXY. That is what I think that is cooking. So with that said, if we quickly go to the other instrument, I'm taking my time here. Euro USD. And Euro USD now, it's like we are giving up. This is like an A wave to the upside. We might see a little more correction to the downside. I think this may come down either immediately or not. we might see a little more correction to the downside without breaking this for now. I think if you are around 14,300, we won't see that break before we finish up a wave B. And after finish up a wave B, then we might have one more thrust to the downside. Is going to, if DXY is giving us a 38 to the downside, maybe Euro USD may just be giving us a 23.6 to the downside, but we'll see what it's going to give. It might not take this area before it goes up again, but I think we are seeing a bigger fall. Just like we have here, 1, a 2, then in between here is the third wave, which, you know, if you draw your trend support here, it's almost at that. It's not breaking it yet on the euro dollar. It's not breaking it yet, but that's breaking it on DXY. So we need DXY. We work together. I think this A wave is almost over. It's an A wave for me, very corrective. You can see how many days we have been on this, very corrective and enduring. So we need to give a B wave to the upside, and that B wave may take up this area or not. If we are able to get a reaction, you can look for at this level to relinquish your buy at this level of 17.2. So we'll see what is going to give us for more push to the downside. If we get a sell setup, we'll go for that sell and see how deep we can go down before we take a buy again. So that is what I can see here. On the pound USD, it's similarly, DXY is going to help us to explore all of these. On the pound USD, I think is the same. This look like a wave 3, the end of a wave 3, a 1, a 2 here, and probably this is the end of a wave 3. We are seeing a 4th. Now, both of them, all of this, we are looking set to have a B wave to the upside. And that B wave probably will go up before we turn to the downside again. Turn to the downside, we may break it, this or not, before that push. So we need to see the way this candle is being set up, you know, even though we can see, we may see a slightly drop before we have that C wave to the upside to finish up this as a B wave before we come down. On NZD USD, I think it's the same. On NZD USD, for me, I see the whole of these as an A wave, ABC of a B wave, and this is going to come down a C wave to break this low. If that happens, then this might just be an A B to the downside, then we have a C. That is what I can see cooking up here. So in the middle of here, we finish this as a 1 ABC of the first move, and this may be going up to create the B wave in the middle before we have a sharp fall again. So this will be the sell zone here. Once the price comes to this area, it might be the sell zone. Without taking this top, we may be going down, you know, to break. We will break this, and come to around, without breaking 0.5700, we should see a push to the upside. On the USD JPY, so we have to align ourselves, you know, to what it's playing out here. On the USD JPY, I still see more upside now with what the DXY is printing. The WXY in the middle here seems not to have finished this. This is the okay. If I zoom out, this is an A wave here, and this is a B wave here, and so we've been coming down to do a C wave. And so it now means that in this C part of wave, the A wave is completed. We are seeing a B wave of this C part before we drop again. So now, with that said, this had gone to be a complex wave, so where we see this as an A wave. Now, the WXY in the middle here, which is probably a zigzag here, it's a completion of an A wave And we are seeing a B wave in the middle here. And this is the B wave in the middle, which is A, B, C. So the whole of this is a B wave in the middle. And so we are going to do a C wave. Now, this C wave also is not completed. We may be seeing a drop of the B wave here too. Probably an A leg. This may take the top, come down one more time to give us a B. Probably that will take this low, a B wave. Then we go up to finish up as the C leg of that C leg of this wave. So it's going to be more complex, more consolidation around this area. Probably without taking this low, we will see what it's going to give us before we go more to the upside. So you have to be very careful. But where do I see this? Where I see this is if you take this as an A, the low of this as a B wave, look at 100 extension to 123 extension. If I bring out my I don't think this is not going to break 150. This should not take 154, 800 before we come to the downside. It shouldn't take that. It may, there's a confluence here. 151, 400 it will be a target area. 151, 400, but it shouldn't take 154, 800. If I bring out my drawing, yeah. So this is an 100 extension here at 151 or 15900. This is an extension, 100 extension of this wave. If it's an A, B, C, yeah, it could get to this point, and this is a 1, 2, 3, which, of course, we have to see what is happening before we know if you're going to get here or not, or look at the DXY also, when it's pushing up. It's going to break all of this. It's going to break all of this now. So it's an A, B, C in the middle, A, B, and a C in the middle. This might be a very strong resistance area, because if you look at this, all of this B wave, the retracement, but again, it's about what is building. The retracement here is around 618. And the retracement around this primary two here, it's at 76 or 78. So it shouldn't break here, but between this area is where you should expect reaction. But let's study this. This one is already, we need a correction to the downside before we go up again. So that's what I can see here. Now, Eurujpy, Eurojpy also, it's really giving us tough time. So this might just click the top again for us to have at least a bigger correction if we are not going to fall. So this cannot be going up like this. You don't want to certainly be buying this at this level. We need this to give us a correction to the downside. So the manner of the correction, the magnitude of it will tell if we are going all the way down to break the bottom or not, or it's going to be. So if you have been selling, you still have an opportunity of exiting this trade. And this will not break the top before we have that correction. So this is the top around this area. This is top around this area. So this should give us a reaction to the downside, at least a corrective reaction to the downside, if it's not going to break down. Now, the last is the gold. Gold is super consolidating. It looks bullish. On the whole, it looks bullish. Are we coming down to grab liquidity around this area? It doesn't look like that to me, because the struggle has been in the upper zone here. It has been in the upper zone here, except if you are able to break this trend line to the downside, then that may be possible for gold. If I bring out my drawing, Let me just go somewhere else where I can show you. So what you should be looking for, it's a break out of this wedge now. That's what you should be looking for. A break out of this wedge is what you should be looking for now. So if we break to the upside, then that is bullish. If we break and we close a daily candle below here, then it's going to be bearish. So it's a delicate structure that we are having, and it looks like a bull flag to me. That's what I can see here. So we might spend a bit more time around this area, probably go up, come down again before we eventually break out from here. It's more of a bull flag than it's a bearish structure, because if we are going to correct based on the DXY, if you're going to correct deep to break this low or to take this low here, because to take this low and probably come around this area, there's a whole lot that will happen here, a whole lot. The bulls are really not having it with the bears at all with this kind of a structure here. So you have to be very careful. So whatever you are doing, even if you are buying this area around 32.81 will be your stop loss if you're buying, and you have to be very careful also. But if the price should come and take 32.46, then it's going to go all the way down. So that's what I can see here. So watch out for what structure is going to give. It's still looking a bit bullish, even though it's consolidating a bit bullish. Let's see if price is going to come up around this area, go down again. It's going to be a lot of struggle and consolidation around this area before eventually we break out. You can just draw your flag and begin to see when you have a daily candle close above or below. With that, I've come to the end of today's update. Please like, share, subscribe, and encourage your friends also to subscribe to help us grow this community. Thank you. Bye.